Okay, so here are the ingredients that you're gonna need to make the lumpia. And so we have spring roll wrappers, and these are the large ones, but you can get the smaller ones if you'd like. I have 2 packs, 25 come in a pack. And then we have some garlic. We're not going to use the whole bulb of garlic. We have some green onions, cabbage, carrots, salt, which I use kosher salt for everything, so you can use whatever salt you'd like, black pepper, garlic powder, and some soy sauce. And then for meat, we are gonna do chicken, and I'm gonna have to actually put this in the food processor because I couldn't find ground chicken anywhere. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do, and I already washed my carrots and dried them. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna peel these carrots. Our trash bowl. And we'll just put all this in here. And really, you don't have to throw this away. In culinary school, something that I learned that was very valuable is getting the biggest bang for your buck. I mean, working in restaurants, you can't just throw stuff away. Everything has a use. So if you save your trimmings from your carrots, and then whenever you use onion, celery, any other vegetables, you can save all of your trimmings and then put them in a Ziploc bag, keep them in the refrigerator or even the freezer. And then once you have enough, you can make vegetable stock. Or you can use chicken stock too when you have trimmings for bones and a whole carcass from like a rotisserie chicken. Okay, so I have my shredding blade and my food processor, and I'm just gonna go ahead and shred these and hope and pray that I don't wake him up. Okay, so we're gonna turn this on again. There's always going to be a few pieces that don't completely get shredded, but I'll use that for my stock. And then now we are going to put our blade back in our food processor. Put the lid on. Okay, so I'm going to cut a chunk off. I'll do my green onions, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut the tips off, put that in my stockpile, and I'm gonna finely mince, or finely slice our green onions. These are definitely fresh. Okay. Got a green onion. Perfect. And we love garlic, so I'm gonna do most of this bulb. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cloves. We'll do 10. So we're gonna smash them. Okay, so now I'm gonna cut off the butts of the garlic. I'm gonna smash it some more. So see how much garlic this is? That was 10 cloves. Some of them were larger than others, but they were generally, you know, average size. Here, got my bag and put it on my scale. I don't know if you can see this or not, but okay. Put my gloves on. Ever since culinary school, they always told us never handle chicken with your bare hands. I haven't since then. They burned it into my brain. So I'm gonna weigh 1.5 pounds. One 1.10, that's close enough. Okay. So I'm gonna take these out of here, and I put this on top of the scale so that I wasn't contaminating my scale. So you could use like a plate or something, but you gotta put your plate on first and then turn on your scale to zero it out. So now I'm gonna take my leftover chicken and put it in here, and I'll store it back in my freezer. Actually, I'm gonna put it in my fridge and use it for probably tomorrow's dinner. Okay, this in here. Put this in my fridge. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut these into large chunks. Got my chicken. Still haven't touched chicken with this hand. I'm gonna put the lid on and turn it on. I'm gonna pulse it a little bit. I don't want it to be a paste. I just want it to be brown. Careful with this blaze. Okay, so I'm gonna scrape my contents, and like, remember I told you earlier that it doesn't matter if there's a little bit of cabbage and stuff in there, because the chickpea that it kind of picks it up in the bowl. There's really nothing left in here. If you can see it, there's really nothing left. Okay. Garlic powder, salt, black pepper, soy sauce. Take out my soy sauce. It's probably good. And I'm gonna taste this before it actually gets cooked. Garlic powder. And I add garlic powder and fresh garlic because I feel like they actually do have a different flavor. Black pepper. And add as much or as less as you want. And salt. You gotta think there's a lot of cabbage in here. And I know I added soy, but you wanna make sure you have enough. Okay, so now, and this is a lot of filling, so I'm probably gonna have to add more seasoning to it. I like my food very seasoned. You don't want it to be too salty though, because you're gonna dip it in sauce whenever they're done. Okay, so we're gonna mash this together with both hands. And if you weren't wearing gloves, I mean, you can do it, but I just don't like the thought of raw chicken being under my fingernails or in my ring, and then I'm touching other things around the house. Just not good, not a good thing. So I'm basically kneading this like you would bread, just getting it really good and mixed together. Okay, so now we are ready to assemble our lumpia. We have our spring roll wrappers, water, an egg, and our filling. And then I also went ahead and cut out a piece of parchment that would fit a baking sheet to put my lumpia on. And so I'm gonna crack one egg, add a little bit of water, just so it's not as like goopy. It's easier to handle. put this right here. Actually, I'm gonna use this fork and put it in here. So I'm gonna grab one sheet. I'm gonna put it so that one of the corners is facing myself. And then you get a wet paper towel or a towel and keep it on top of your wrappers so that they don't dry out, because they dry out very quickly. You can't really do anything with them. Okay, so we're gonna grab some filling. Okay, so we're gonna pull it over here and bring it back to tighten it. Bring it over here. Same method as a spring roll or an egg roll, and continue to roll it tightly. Now we're gonna take our finger, dip it in the egg, and there we go, and tightly, there we go, there's the first one. I think I can actually add a little bit less filling, but it's all preference. If you want super fat ones, then add more filling, but the risk with that is that they will brown too much, too fast, and then your filling won't be completely cooked through. So for that reason, I'm gonna do less. And just do a longer line of them, of the filling. Okay, so that's less. I'm gonna pull this, bring it back, bring it in, and maybe I need to add, maybe this isn't enough filling. You'll figure it out. I'm learning as I go. This is my first time making lumpia. Okay, there we go. And you're just gonna keep going. You can control all elements of Okay, so now we finished our lumpia. We ended up with 50 regular size wrappers, and then I had a little bit left over, and I had some of the smaller wrappers. So we actually ended up with 50 large size, and then we ended up with a dozen of the smaller ones. So now I have my oil set at 350 degrees. I'm using a cast iron skillet. You can use a deeper pot if you'd like, but preferably something that's heavy duty, so that you have a better control and more even distribution of your oil. So and I have a station over here. I have my paper towel in my dish, so that whenever these come out of the oil, I can put them straight in. So I'm gonna carefully start putting these in. And you can end up freezing these. So I have some that are already in the freezer right now. So that next time, you freeze them raw. So you freeze them just like how they are now, so that you can put them in the fryer for next time. And I'm using a thermometer. You don't have to use one, but I like to have control over my temperature that I'm frying at. So I'll put a few more in. You don't want to overcrowd your pan. You want to make sure your oil is hot enough, because if it's cold, then your lumpia they're going to be heavier. They're going to be filled with oil instead of light and crispy the way that we want them to be, the way they should be. Okay, so now our lumpia have been frying for a few more minutes, and as you can see, they're perfectly golden brown. So we're gonna take them out of the oil, and then we're gonna add some more in here. Be careful, let them drain a little bit as you're taking them out. Okay, and now we'll put some more.